or forgets about changing the sprites. And off we go.
Yep.
Uncle's gonna race us to the castle. He's gonna win, but at what price?
While failing so well and break his leg.
Vascos with a slight route divergence of not picking up the chest immediately. Quick map check there. 5 crystal on Hera, 4 crystal on Desert, and I think it was green on Eastern. I know it was a pendant for sure, though.
Yeah, I see the green pendant on Eastern.
Yeah, okay. I've seen a lot of vanilla green pendant lately. I don't know what's up with vanilla green pendant, but hey. and they're gonna give us the bow. Hey, we're gonna make you do green pendant right off the bat, okay? Deal with it.
Feels AMG, eh?
Both players starting with some kills there. Vascos one more item down the pool, getting 2 drops instead of Vascos just getting 1, but that will be of minor, if any, consequence. You have lots of arrows when you do start with the bow. You only need about, what do you need? 2, 3, 5. You only need 5. You can use 4 to kill the ball and chain guard very quickly.
And 1 for the red, so that's 10.
Yeah. Only 10 required if you don't use pot strats.
And if the enemies don't shoot your arrows, they can.
Yeah, especially that rat. The rat's the final boss for a reason. Meanwhile, we're just gonna pick up the flute. So, this is gonna be one of these seeds that says, hey, go to all the Light World dungeons before you do anything else.
Yep.
We'll see just how fast we do that. Of course, we do need more than just Death Mountain access before we can go to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, we did. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I probably gonna say the same thing you were. Basically, yeah, we need either the mirror or we need the hookshot and hammer to get to Tower of Hera.
Oh, I was thinking about you need a book for desert.
Yeah, the book for desert, or some silly seed where you get Titan Mitts and mirror before you get book, or Moon Pearl even, potentially.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of those. Those are really funny.
So Reg's going to go for 1 pot. Vascos looks like he's just going to go for 4 arrows real fast.
There can only be 1 arrow flying in the air, so when you find multiple arrows toward the same area, you want to be as close to the enemy as possible.
Yeah, exactly, or else you just end up pulling your bow and doing nothing. Fortunately, just pretty close to sync. It's not that perfect sync, but we're real good, guys. As we go here, we do know that the small chest in the sewer is going to be a small key, so the only way we're getting bombs from here will be from another enemy kill somewhere along the way. And our runners being at 11 and 13 arrows do have to be a little careful with their ammo at this point.
They can kill a few more green guards with the pots here, like Reg is doing.
Oh, got a 5 arrow drop. And Vascos gets the bomb drop. If Reg doesn't kill any more green guards, he's gonna miss out on that prize pack. He's only 1 kill away. He's only 1 prize pack drop away from it. Fortunately, gonna miss out on it in this case.
Let's see if the snakes in the sewers are bailing him out on that.
Yeah. Just because he did miss, it doesn't mean it's going to cost him a lot, because we will see some kills, and if there's some early bombs in some of these, You never know. He might get an 8 bomb drop and immediately get a very nice lead right back. Unfortunately, not quite getting that.
More arrows, though.
Yep.
Always nice.
It'll be interesting to see exactly how many more enemies Reg bothers to try to kill here. As he does want to make sure, of course, he kills that key rat. So you sort of want to save all your arrows at this point. Yeah, he'll probably just save his arrows for after he kills the key rat and then kill some more enemies. Probably in the fully lighted room afterwards. Probably use the rest of his arrows killing these enemies here.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, just nopes out after running his way up the room. Vascos almost took a death there. Well, we got the map there, 20 rupees, and a heart container. So nothing really lost for Reg except for the peace of mind of I need to go back there at some point.
Yep.
And likely won't be a problem unless we have really late gloves on this seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course the gloves won't be locked behind anything there, so it'll depend on when. Reg can always go back in the way that they just went to get that to get to that location once he buys bombs. But we'll see exactly how the route treats him here. We are going to get a lumberjack cave check.
And the triple check.
Tree pull is boring. At least that one was. Crab with the same. I don't think we're really looking for heart drops.
Nope. That's a bottle on the lumberjack tree. With blue goo even. Yeah,
likely unimportant, although it's always possible that the game locks progression behind Sick Kid, and that's the only bottle we have access to until we get that progression.
That sounds insane, yes, actually.
I've heard of a seed or two like that. I've heard of a seed that actually had pedestal bottle required. But, well, it's highly unlikely, of course.
Yeah.
And now it's not required, because that's a bottle. So, so we're not going to have that contrived situation occur.
Nope. Nice.
Well,
heart death for 5 seconds before peace of mind.
Yeah. That being said, both players filling up their arrows there, so we're going to have a little bit more ammo as we go into Mini Moldorm Cave will be one of the things that our runners will be thinking about already.
Mm-hmm.
Arrow's not helping a lot on the Death Mountain side of things.
But it does help if they want to dip Eastern early.
Does help for Eastern, yes.
Yeah. If they find a lamp that's 7 items in Logic Clear, even more than Mini Moldorm Cave. But if you count the dam, it's still a faster check to go to Mini Moldorm Cave first.
Well, that's a nice bottle vendor there. 3 for 1 payoff on our 100 rupee investment.
Yeah. Now when do you see that?
Sick Kid has 10 more arrows. We've seen lots of arrows this seed, lots of arrow drops, and of course we've also been getting some arrows in chests as well. Well, not a bad time for Shovel to show up.
Mm-hmm. You can check it right now, actually. And of course, after buying bombs, the seed start giving them bombs in chests.
Yeah. So I expect that our runners will likely check Shovel immediately after a race game. Some runners will take a gamble to try to sort of leave it and hope they get it with the mirror when they're doing their Dark World check later. But that's always a little bit risky because the mirror might be what's in the dig spot.
Yeah, and Dixar is pretty close to red skin in general, so I see them going there. Reg didn't check Mine's hut and she's straight to library. Maybe he'll go back there.
I don't think he checked. Yeah, he didn't check either of these 4-item locations. I don't think, or 5-item locations, which is interesting. So we'll see how exactly he's going to play this out here. So far, nothing big there.
Maybe he wants to save and quit a Blind's hut or something like that. We'll see.
Well, more fetch quest. Fetch quest mushroom in the race game. What do we have in Blind's hut?
He's straight to dig spot.
Yep, straight to dig spot for Reg. There's gloves. There's the cane of Samaria. Cane of Samaria, a great weapon early on to just deal with some miscellaneous enemies when you don't have a much better weapon yet. The bow being sort of an interesting one in many cases. And there we go. We're gonna flip back here.
Yeah, nice routing here. Never thought of that.
Vascos, on the other hand, going to skip out on the race game and shovel altogether right now. And depending on what the mushroom has, that could be of some importance as well. Now that being said, it's very likely our runners may decide to keep the mushroom for the fake powder glitch once they get the hammer or Dark World access in the mirror.
Yep.
Vasco's going to go ahead and pick up this heart. Can't blame him. You might see some of the top runners skip a full heart container there, already on 6 hearts. But most of us not confident in our 6 heart green mail play.
Yep.
And even many of the top runners, I would expect you'll see pick up that heart container for small time investment for a lot of safety. And here comes that cane of Samaria, as I was mentioning before. Very useful in rooms for this. Much nicer than the bow.
Yep. Its hitbox is way larger and hits multiple times.
We're getting healthy this seed. And a sword and a book. Well, like I said, all the Light World dungeons.
Yep. Might be in sequence as well. Looks like he's going to Ice Rock Cave next.
Yep. No, not doing Ice Rock Cave yet. We're doing fake flippers.
Yeah, with food, you do not walk to Ice Rock Cave. You food there, I suppose.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Also, with Reg just following behind Vascos here so far,
Well,
main advantage we're looking at so far is the mushroom on Reg. And that's a fairly small advantage. Reg using all the weapons, breaking out like all the weapons here. Look at these arrow strats. Who said it's hard to hit mini Moldrams with the bow? I think I said that, and it's true, but Reg made it look real easy.
Yep. Well, it's easier if the mini model are not trying to evade your balls, and we see Vascos going to Eastern to check his 7 item, but only part of those is in sequence.
Yeah. So until we find the lamp, of course, Armos Knight and the big key chest are not logically available. Interesting that we're going to skip Sahasrara at first, but I think that does speak to Vascos is comfortable doing the dark rooms and will be doing so, and he'll go to Sahasrara after he completes the dungeon.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Reg is doing Ice Rod Cave, almost stepping on a mine there. He's like, what is this mine doing here? Anyways, getting a little bit of love out of the Ice Rod Cave is not what he was looking for. Reg is going to follow along with Vascos, though, and make the same Eastern Palace play here.
Which we will be glad to have done so, because we just have the Moon Pearl in the first chest in Eastern.
We are getting Sahasrara checked first for Reg, though, which is interesting. As mentioned before, especially since he fluted there, it was much faster to go straight to Eastern from the flute point. So this will be a little bit of a time loss, so we'll see if he gains an advantage out of doing this before Eastern or not. And the answer is not getting an advantage. The single the bottle with the B, not going to do a lot for us in Eastern Palace. But he's not going to do Eastern Palace, so we've got potential problems here.
Yep.
We're going to do the back of escape.
The good thing though with left flute, not doing Eastern right now isn't that much of time lost.
Yeah, and depending on what he finds elsewhere, having the Moon Pearl now doesn't mean much because it doesn't really do anything for you yet. So if he can go to Death Mountain and find the hammer, or go to Desert and find the hammer instead, similar advantages are gained, at least for the moment. So we'll see exactly what he finds where.
Although hammer doesn't do much yet as well, you need both hammer and a pearl.
Well, the interesting thing about hammer is well, actually, sorry, we already have a sword, so we can already kill Moldorm, so that's not a huge deal. We are going back to Eastern, though. So probably a little bit of misrouting from Reg there. Probably sort of finished the hospital and then went, shoot, I haven't done the back of escape yet. I want to do that real quick before I go to Eastern.
Yeah, I'm not sure walking from Sahasrara to Eastern is faster or from the flute spot. I think it's pretty even, actually.
It may be. You may be right. Although, that being said, we are also removing a flute from there altogether, so that does take a little bit more time. Anyways, as we go here, red rupee there.
Yeah, left chest is not in logic yet, because big key is vanilla.
But I expect that both players are going to sequence break this. I don't think Reg would have come here yet if he wasn't willing to make this sequence break after fluting away from it after Sahasrara.
Using an arrow on a stationary Igor to see when he moves, perfectly done. Just found the door as well. He's through the dark room.
And accidentally closed the door on himself. Fixes that very quickly. Getting everyone's favorite little trick of stepping on the switch that's actually behind the Igor, but we just don't care and just step on it without the Igor moving.
Yeah, the switch hitbox in this game is a little wonky.
Vascos Nice clean red mimics and in with 30 arrows, so doesn't have to be super clean on this fight, but we'll see exactly how this does play off. Ooh, does miss the quick kill, fortunately, but cleans it up just fine.
Gets another big 20 for his trouble, and the green pendant. We'll see what he finds on Sahasra's, which is not in sequence yet. So it will more be about information, like actual progress.
Yeah, we'll see if we needed to do Eastern past the first chest or not here very quickly. Because it may very well have been a play to just get the Moon Pearl and get out of here, but you'd never make that play without full Dark World access at that point. 1 rupee.
A green for a green.
Yep. Green crystal for green pendant. Fortunately, not the kind of crystals we're looking for in this game in general. Vascos, where are you going to go next? I'm half expecting the desert play, but...
Oh, dig spot. He didn't do that.
That's right, yeah, it was Vascos, so he'll do the dig spot and probably the race game as well. We'll see.
So their option is the 1 item Death Mountain, or LR2 if you sequence break the Old Man, and potentially boost Lock Desert. Neither are really appealing right now.
Another option, of course, is Zora, but that's an even less appealing option, although they can, with the fake flippers, you can turn that into a 3-item check, at least. Or for Reg, it would actually be a 4-item check, because he didn't do the fake flippers to Hobo either.
Mm-hmm.
Vascos, after checking the mushroom, is going back around to get the mushroom. Or not. Oh, he wants to check this first, okay, and he'll probably just jump back down now that he knows that he doesn't need that. So with this, our racers are pretty even right now overall.
Yeah, they've done pretty much the same thing.
Yep, so Vascos has that advantage of the Hobo check, Reg has the advantage of the Ice Rod check, and then that's pretty much it. The rest, Vascos is sort of ahead by a little bit time-wise here, just due to Reg having to go back in to check the back of Escape, but we're pretty much right on top of each other otherwise. We are going to turn in the mushroom.
Yep.
So must not be worried about trying the fake powder. Either that or did pull off a save and quit recently. I wasn't really fully paying attention to what he did just before this. But it's the Titan's mitts. You're not saving and quitting those.
Yep.
That's Dark World access.
That changed everything actually. Now we're going to the East Dark World is still locked, but he can still do a lot here.
Yeah. And into Skull Woods. And here's the map check. Pendant, Skull Woods, and Thieves Town. Just what you want to see. With the 6 crystal being Turtle Rock as well.
Of course, when you have Dark World access this early, the fastest dungeon are all pendants.
So we'll see if we see any plays like Thieves Town first 4 chests only as well, which is a common play if runners just want to sort of see what they can get out of it real fast. Reg, of course, not wasting any time either here. Neither player making the plays to sort of the out-of-way locations and just both turning in their mushroom and being very happy about that.
Yep. And with Blue, the mushroom check is one of the fastest item locations, so it's reasonable. And you're not save and quit for big powder later, so because less Titans bits. So yeah, let's see what happens next.
As Reg is going to follow Vascos once again. We're not getting very far in Skull Woods here.
Yeah.
We see a Reg dancing around the hard hat beetles as Vascos pulls off the bomb jump. Very nice. Needs to be a little careful though. I can only take 2 hits from mini Moldorms. There we go. Kills him off. Yeah, I really didn't want to take.
Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't want to take any hits from the mini Moldorms there, or else he would have died and had gone all the way back to that hard hat beetle room as well. So, very well done, taking out the mini Moldorms without taking any damage. Anyways, off we go. Good old quick room when you have the Cane of Samaria, and pain in the butt room when you don't.
Yep.
Half magic. Interesting.
And that's both items out of Skull Woods. They might not need to kill most of the seed.
Yep. So that also means that we're not going to see any pedestal checks for quite a while here, most likely. Regardless of what exactly happens. Now, I'm not sure exactly what our pedestal hype looks like right now. Although, Swamp being a crystal always makes a lot of easy pedestal items. Both the mirror and the hook shot, unique requirements for for Swamp Palace. I'm not sure how long I'm saying the wrong thing there. Swamp Palace making it very unique, and the flippers being semi-unique to Swamp Palace, and with Ice Palace also being a crystal means that they could be on the pedestal as well. So, Swamp Palace, the palace of pedestal.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Vascos check the bumper papers and solves the quick medallion.
So always interesting to see as well, because we might need that, or we might not. We'll find out later. Actually, speaking of finding out later, I'm actually a little surprised that neither player made the quick check to Mire area, but not having the mirror is probably part of the reason for that. You sort of want to get the checkerboard cave check done when you do that as well.
And the desert pass check while you're there, so they're definitely looking for mirror before going there.
Yeah. Silver arrows, though. What an item. Especially when you get bow at the start. That being said, blind will be an interesting one if our players do decide to go all the way to blind right now. Although we do have the fighter sword, so not too bad. But we might see some Samaria strats potentially, depending on exactly what goes on. Or we just might not even see blind, of course, because it is a pendant. So if we get all 4 items before blind, there's no reason to go to blind. Aside from gambling on pedestal.
But they don't have the hammer. I'm not sure if they can get all 4 out of this dungeon yet.
It'll depend.
Yeah, very unlikely, but they can, because map and compass can be a big chest and blind.
Well, and even the small key can be in the big chest, and that's all that really matters.
But unfortunately, we have the small key already.
Yeah. Small key, why? Why do we have you? Getting the small key this early may be a good reason to dip out of the dungeon very quickly, to just do the first 4 chests and get out. Lamp, also a good reason to do that.
Well, we have lamp. So that's 2 items out of 4 in the Thieves' Town. And
So I believe that
death warp.
Yeah, that did look like an intentional death warp. We'll see how important that lamp is in the near future. both players, of course, already showing off their dark room ability. So likely that's not going to be a huge issue. The bigger point of the lamp, of course, being that it can light torches.
Yup.
And the only other item we can get to do that would be the fire rod. So it's possible the lamp is very important. It's possible that it's just a luxury item. We will see once we start going to dungeons that require us to light lamps or light torches. As Reg is just going to skip out on Thieves' Town altogether for the time being.
Mm-hmm. Well, because none of the dungeons that requires you light the lanterns actually opens yet. Mr. Meyer, you require, even with that quick, it cannot access yet, and you need a boots or hookshot to even enter it after you open it. So,
Yeah.
lamp is not the biggest concern yet, but might be very soon.
No, it's more Palace if Desert Palace isn't boots locked.
Mm-hmm.
As of course, if we're currently able to full clear Desert Palace, we can't do that without a fire source, and of course, Reg does not have a fire source right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We shall see. What have you got for us, Hype Cave? Hype Cave's been pretty good in V29. I'm sort of balancing between hype and nothing. Mirror, not bad. I like it. It's not the hypest of hype, but it's nice to have the mirror already.
Yep.
We'll see if Reg does a good old reverse play here. Doesn't look like it. He's just gonna flute back to or what are we doing? What are we doing, Reg? I think he might be going to Cave 45 and doing sort of the reverse route here. Yeah, I would say that's almost definitely what's going to go on here. Is we're going to Cave 45. Vascos making the same play. No, he's going to go for Desert. Maybe. I don't know.
Looks like Bombos.
He wants to check the Bombos tablet. Very fair play.
And then goes to Desert from there.
Most likely, yes. Whether it is, we'll see if he does Agonist Cave before or after. Nice red potion in Cave 45. Is that Burna? Is that the Burna text?
I actually blinked on that.
It says use this to make me, or use this to become invincible.
Invincible.
Which makes me think Burna, but
yeah, that sounds like Burna as well.
Chat says Burna too, so we'll go with Burna. And the Smith's having 20 rupees. Agonist Cave having 50 rupees. Nothing too important in these locations yet. Where are we going, Reg? We are indeed. So both players are going to go to the same spot right now.
Reg checking the ledge first, finding the outer boomerang, while Vasco is straight to rare area.
So what medallion do we have? Do we see Quake? We don't know yet. Ooh, Vasco's taking a death. Won't be a huge consequence, but annoying nonetheless. I did not catch that medallion.
Neither do I.
Let's see. It looked like Quake. It did look like Quake. Might have been Bombos. Now I missed what was in Paradise, or what was in this Meyer shed.
Nothing, just bombs and arrow upgrade.
Okay. Ray going for the desert check. So of course he wants to end with the Agonist Cave check, so he wants to leave Checkerboard Cave for second last as well.
We'll see if this desert is going to be completed real soon.
And, well, there's Bombos.
So Desert is not push locked, but Reg cannot complete it because it doesn't have that lamp.
Correct, yes. And, oh, was Ether? Jeez, I couldn't tell at all. Then again, I saw the very edge of the medallion, and I didn't pay attention when Vascos got there. Ether's sort of the annoying one to find, though, for both players, because now we know... So we know where both the other medallions are. We're like, okay, so now, if it was one of the other ones, we'd be like, okay, we need this item for Go mode. We need either boots or cape. But no, we just don't know where Ether is. Reg just charging through here. Last item on Landmola's.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how much that hurts Reg here. Might matter a lot, it might matter very, very little.
Yeah, he need to go to a backup, and sometimes anyway it's isolated, so the only time lost is if Vasco did not need to come back to this area, but highly unlikely because Maya is a crystal as well.
The bigger advantage is if Landmola's item is important.
Yeah, exactly.
But just because we need to do Landmola's, yes. But if he's got a progression item, this could be big. What kind of strats are we going to see on our Landmolas? Oh, silver arrows, of course. Duh. Like, there's nothing else that even compares to silver arrows in our inventory right now.
Yep. Well, if you want, you can Samaria let Landmolas if you want.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of strats that are sort of available, but they're all fighter sword damage strats, except for silver arrows, which are just one-shot the Landmola strats. So, of course, we're going to pick the one-shot the Landmola strat most of the time. Sometimes the two-shot wins with, like, the fire rod, but same difference for those.
So Rick, sequence breaking the old man, we know it's a sequence, he doesn't. And he will be facing Tower Carrier. That's another place where that lamp might come into play, because if the whole Carrier is fire locked, then it's not a good news for him.
Yeah, you don't want to climb all the way up there just to find out there's nothing of any use up here. That being said, of course, Landmola's not being a major issue in terms of... Ooh, Master Sword on top of the Spectacle Rock. And Red Mail, I doubt we might see someone go for that, but I somewhat expect we won't. No, he is going to go for it.
He just got a blue mail from Old Man as well, so both mail is here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, and it's early enough, and the fact that it's accessible now, you lose your 30, 40 seconds here to have a lot more safety for the rest of the seed. And when you know you're going to have to face Trinex and everything, among everything else, we'll take a nice early one. Trying to set up the bomb jump, misses it, unfortunately. I actually don't know if it's faster to save and quit from this point, or actually walk your way out.
I'm not sure either.
He's just gonna beep us with the mirror for a little while. So Vascos coming in here with the same play that Reg has already started making.
Yeah, because there really isn't much else left. I think we'll see our next progression here somewhere.
Most likely, as I said, we can always have that real troll that that it ends up actually being that it's Zora that has our next progression. But we shall see. Hookshot would be a nice progression, gets us access to East Death Mountain without opening the entire world, with which the hammer would do. A little bit of love on the Ether Tablet.
Yep, and straight to Tall Hero. We'll see if it's fire locked or not.
First item is compass. Immediately out we go. Second, our key. Which key do we get? We get the small one. Reg is out.
Out. So this is going to be a time loss for him because he's going to go back to Thieves Town.
Unfortunately, got no advantage from that play, and here comes the. Looks like we're getting the Thieves Town play. We could also be getting a Graveyard Ledge, but I doubt that would be the first. Well, I don't know. There's not a lot of other plays to make, as we've already said. So I expect this is Thieves Town. We might very well see a full clear of Thieves Town from Reg, although getting the lamp may just send him back to Tower of Hera as well. And Desert Palace. Of course, there is 2 more items in Thieves Town for our runners to collect, potentially. So, that's of course where the gamble will come in.
Yep.
And Vascos is going to set up coffee time.
Nails it. You can very easily get knocked off the pegs by a tile on the last second here. So
just uses a nice sword. Just holds the sword out in front of him to protect himself from that one tile coming in at the end, instead of having to work to dodge it.
While Rick collecting his lamp, let's see what he'll do next.
And he's gonna complete it by the looks of it.
Yep, he's not that swerving.
So as I said, not surprising, because he only has 3 item locations were locked by the lamp, and they're in 2 very different places. So it makes sense to, of course, just go ahead with the 2 that you're already in, and you've already checked enough locations to sort of go, yeah, I didn't just do something dumb and miss the hammer right outside the dungeon, which is one of the reasons why you'll often see that first 4 early on. Is you're like, I don't really want to dip this all the way through to find out I have to come back with the hammer when I could have had the hammer here the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's still possible he could have had the hammer here the first time, but we'll find that story out in a little bit here. Or in a long while. Depends on where the hammer is.
Yeah, hammer. It's pretty long for a hammerless siege.
There's the flippers.
Well, that opens a part of swamp and a part of ice because we need hammer for both of those.
More importantly, it gives us access to pod.
And
as previously, we didn't have access to pod.
Mountain. Yeah, and East Death Mountain as well.
Or East Dark World is what you mean. East Death Mountain, not so much.
Well, you can hammer your way to the right here.
We don't have a hammer, we have flippers.
Oh, flippers. Oh, oops. I want a hammer so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Modern, easy dispatched.
All right, what have we got in the back here? I mean, I have no idea what the item upstairs beside the skylight was. I stopped paying attention, and I'm Really sad about that. There's a compass, though. That's not a good sign.
Nope. Looks like we're checking the pyramid here. He's
just flipper checks. Were you
yeah,
doing flipper
checks? Flipper checks, but yeah, those are fast.
Well, there's a riot shield. We might see one of our runners pick that up at some point. Probably not, but if they ever end up in the area in Dark World, you might see it picked up. There's much worse things you could randomly find around out and around in the world, and take yourself 30 seconds, because it could save you much more than 30 seconds if you're not very good at the Turtle Rock laser skips. You are required to do Laser Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Vascos is going to continue on, charging the Zora. What do we have? We've got Piece of Heart on the ledge. Let's see. Zora has the 10 bomb upgrade.
The one and only, as rare as any progression item, but it's not progression item.
Yeah. So the one thing I will mention about this overall now, the routing, the idea to go do the flipper location checks was probably pretty sound by Vascos. But the way that I would have routed it to be more efficient is do probably what it's going to do right now, which is go in the portal here and go east along the north side of Dark World, and gone to Catfish and mirrored from Catfish and done the flipper checks from there, so that he didn't have to make sort of two out of the way treks. You just sort of combine them into one slightly longer trek.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting if we do get the Catfish check, because the Catfish check is now very isolated. Since he's done the Zora, since he's already done the Zora play and turned in the mushroom, obviously, as the mushroom was very important so far.
Looks like he's going there, at least the graveyard ledge first. And that is probably the closest he will ever be to Catfish, as of now.
Well, and he'll continue from here. He'll definitely go across the water, of course. Whether he goes to Catfish or just goes to Pyramid is a different question.
Well, if I were him, I would totally go to Catfish, because I want to make sure I don't have to go this route again.
Exactly, and I see no reason to not do it, but I just want to mention it because it is one of those things that maybe may have slipped his mind for some reason or another, or may just be a routing decision that he decides to make. So just sort of preparing our viewers for the possibility, but most likely, as you said, I see no reason that he doesn't go do Catfish right away here. And that is what we're getting.
Catfish has a
What do we get? Fantastic. Just what we wanted to see. I don't think that's really what we wanted to see, but, you know, we saw it. Off we go. Back down. Check Pyramid. Check Pod.
Red says his computer has crashed and has officially forfeited from the race. Sorry to hear. Very sorry to have that happen.
Yeah, I lost his save file on the crash. That's never want to hear that. So now all that Vascos has to do is complete the seed. This is Vascos, so let's see as Vascos does continue on into pod here. Won't be seeing any mirror shenanigans in here, as of course we've already done everything we could possibly do in the light world in this area. Only mirror shenanigans inside of pod. And off we go. What will we find in the first chest? Doesn't really matter if the dungeon would have been bow locked, because of course we had the bow from the start of the game.
Yep. So going through a center door here.
I'm never quite sure what the optimal routing is for this dungeon. I think part of the problem is it's very hard to say what's optimal without knowing where the small keys are.
There's another small key.
I think with this play, I think Vascos is probably doing one of the fastest routes possible here. Although without the boots, I would want to check that right side chest before I would have done this as well. But
well, there's a portal sending to right side after this.
Yeah. Mullet Mansion living up to its name for now. Business in the front, party in the back. Everyone give as much of a GG as you can to Regaro in chat here. Trying to put on a fantastic race for us. Computer had other plans. It was shaping up to be a real good one too, Reg.
Yeah.
Too bad. And there's the hammer. Hello, hammer. What a place for it.
Yup, in his vanilla dungeon.
Vanilla dungeon, one of the best places that you could possibly find it as well to some degree. Although at the same time, also ruins his routing, because once again, does he have the big key? He does not. Yeah, so he's going to go around and pick up this chest first. Because he does not want to not get this big key before he goes to the back.
Well, if he had the boots, it will be very convenient to bunk back up there, but
yeah,
he will have to take a long trip.
Yeah, but you definitely, as I mentioned, you don't want to skip this. Unfortunately, wasn't necessary to do in this case, but the last thing you want to do is go to the back and then find out you have to come back to the front to get the big key so that you can open the big chest in the back. Are we getting hammer yump, or are we just getting lots of buttons pressed? We're just getting lots of buttons pressed. Wasn't sure there for a moment. I'm like, map's not really a way to set up hammer yump, but who knows? I don't know how hammer yump works. I just know that it's a thing. Well, I do know how it works. I just don't know how to do it.
So checking the basement first. If the key is not there, you know the hallway back to the center is a small key, but we have the small key, so we need to check this chest.
Yep. And it's the big key. Definitely want that key. And Vasco's going to have to be a little bit careful here. Really doesn't want to take a death before he finishes this. Finds the tempered sword, though. Likely will.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, likely will death warp after he does get all these chests, though.
Yep. Those the dongles do 1 heart whatever you do. So pretty useful for death swap if you have a red mail.
And Vasco's taking his death warp. Self-inflicted death warp. When you've got double-digit bombs, you don't really need many more of them, though, especially after you've done this dungeon. This is one of the heaviest uses of bombs in the game. And we're gonna get some sword beams. We'll see if we can keep the sword beams all the way through to the first basement room, which is where they're really useful for. Saves you 2 menus if you do get that. Mm-hmm. So most times when you do see runners pick up those hearts, it's typically to try to get to full hearts, so that you can then do this next room while having the hammer out and not having to switch to a ranged weapon in between.
Yep. To hear that crystal switch.
As we wait for this cutscene, which takes forever, and just as long as the one in Misery Mire, actually. Just doesn't... Misery Mire feels longer because you don't see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not intentionally losing his sword beams there. We'll see how well he manages to deal with his sword beams here.
Just lost it on the table.
I just loses them from not quite getting the room perfectly, so whatever works. And in we go to Helmasaur. This should be a fairly simple fight here.
He can use the silver arrow if he wants, but 2 temper spins will do the trick as well on the second phase.
Or more likely a tempered spin than 2 slashes. There they are.
Just as you said.
No good reason to charge another spin when 2 slashes will do it typically faster. And a vanilla heart container. Because we want heart containers.
It is not out of the way who would say no to a heart container.
Yeah, if the scene's throwing you heart containers, you take them. It's different when they put them on the ground somewhere and you have to go fetch them, but if there's in chests, we always like heart containers. Just don't make us go pick them up somewhere. We just want them handed to us. Alright, so here comes the East Death Mountain play. Of course, checking we will be able to check both the dark and light versions of this, as well as take a look at what our medallion requirement is for Turtle Rock.
Yep. The only thing that's not available here is Hookshot Cape and the Turtle Rock because they don't have any medallions to open it.
Yeah, because we have, of course, one medallion locked by Boots, one medallion locked by Cape, and one medallion is somewhere that we haven't found yet, which is the one that we need for Misery Mire. So, yeah, we'll find out what we need here shortly. And
Looking like checking a floating island first, then go to Spiral Cave. That's 10 arrows on the floating island.
yeah. Now, what I'm always interested in is how he's going to route his way back up the mountain. I'm always a big proprietor of you take the bottom of Death Mountain Dark World Warp and mirror in between, like mirror to go ahead and do the Paradox Cave. But I see a lot of runners not doing that, and I'm always confused why it's not being done. Whether I'm just mistiming what's faster, or whether, well, there's Boots. We're going fast regardless now.
Yep. Finding Boots at Spiral Cave.
The best place to find Boots is obviously Resident Sleeper Cave.
Yep. The cave you want Boots is where you find Boots. Of course. Looks like he's doing you a trick.
Yep.
Well, I always do that when I have the items to do that, but most of the time when I'm here, I don't have the mirror yet, so I can see why people skip this.
Well, and there's lots of times where I see it with the mirror though, and they still. Now it's a little bit different if you do both of these caves from the top of Death Mountain first, because Super Bunny Cave is much faster if you just run in backwards. The other big question that we'll get here. Actually, never mind. It's not a big question at all. He's not doing Spike Cave. I don't think we have a way to get through Spike Cave at the moment. Being that we're short on hookshot, invulnerability items, and potions.
Hmm?
Now, of course, that also means that I don't believe Spike Cave is in Logic, although I do believe the logic for Spike Cave changed in the fairly recent past to make it not quite as simple as invulnerability items or else.
I think it's made to be easier, like he thinks you can go through the whole thing with Burma.
Oh, right, Burna is on Bombo's tablet. We can get Bombo's tablet now. That's right. Thank you, chat. So Spike Cave definitely in Logic, regardless of whatever else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not even opening the Hookshot Cave, no reason to. And it's Bombos, so we need Boots. Surprise, we have Boots. I would not be surprised if we see the quick plate of Desert, but he may also try to delay that till he gets Ether. Depending on when he wants... Oh, right, I forgot. We also get first chest Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, with that just found Boots.
And it's the hook. What is this Death Mountain?
Wow.
Okay, Death Mountain. Okay, settle down there, Death Mountain. Okay. So, Swamp Palace after this, then?
Yeah, why not? It's a crystal. It's full clearable. I'd go there.
You could also make a play on Ice Palace after you pick up Bombos if you decided to. But Ice Palace being about the same, yeah. It looks like we're going Swamp Palace. Boots and Resident Sleeper Cave, Hookshot and Hookshot Cave. This is just silly. Anyways, off we go. We get a Hammer Dash. The first of many.
Hmm?
Or at least the first of a few. To be fair, Regaro, Vascos already knows that, as we mentioned, that Bombos tablet is Cainaburna, so he may still get that. I wouldn't mind having Cainaburna myself, but we'll see what his decision is.
Yeah. Although he could get a Bombos medallion to open up Ice Palace into Rock as well, but Swamp Palace die? Sure, why not?
Well, yeah, and the Bombos, he already knows that he can get the Bombos medallion whenever he wants it, so it's not really a huge thing to sort of do it now or else. He already has the information on where it is. It's already part of his Go Mode information. The bigger question, of course, are things like Ether and Ice Rod and Fire Rod.
Yep.
And of course, with Fire Rod being the only item that is required still for another place, we could very easily still have a pedestal seed on our hands here. And it could be a while till we find out, because as mentioned before, we've already found both items in Skullwoods. So we don't really have a reason to go back there even once we find the Fire Rod, unless we want to check if it's pedestal seed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Swamp Palace has for us. Is it a bunch of good stuff, or is it a bunch of crap? Find out. I also wonder which way Vascos is going to route at first here. I don't remember what the first chest was, but my personal preference is if I don't have the big key by the time I open these first two chests, I go to Argus first, regardless of what I'm looking for.
My preference is I will flood the left side first, but not check it, and come back to make sure I have a quicker time flooding the left side, but I don't need to commit to it. Don't commit to it yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, get the key, because this is of course the faster way to get the key overall. Oh, get the key! Get the key! There we go. We got the key. We have successfully obtained the small key that we needed. Now, actually, in V29, does this room stay flooded if you flood it right now? If you go and defeat Argus?
I'm not sure. I think no, you can flood the key, so I don't think this room will stay flooded. I think the one before that will stay flooded.
So Swamp Palace was, I think, just in V29 changed so that it will deflood more easily. So from my understanding, as soon as you leave the dungeon, this room that was just flooded by Vascos will be unflooded. So defeating Argus, I believe, does unflood this room.
Huh, I didn't know yet that.
Yes. So flooding that dungeon or flooding that room before you do Argus is a little bit of a time... Well, it's just a time loss if you don't actually do left side. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. If I am wrong, correct me, but I think what Incoherent is saying is also confirming that.
So far, nothing in Swamp Palace yet. We'll see what's in the back.
Yeah. But we did get the big key there, right? That was on the left chest. If we did, I would sort of consider this to be the correct routing in a way, because the correct routing is wherever the big key is. Although he didn't open the big chest, so maybe it wasn't the big key. I'm just not paying enough attention right now.
I think that's a hard piece instead of big key. I'm
I know
not
it was a heart container on the right side. Didn't catch was on the left. And gonna deflood the room here. And we continue to find not a heck of a lot.
Yep, and that's map and both map and compass as well. So if the next chest is not a big key, he will need to go back for the big chest item.
But it is the big key, and off we go. Now, that wouldn't have been strictly true. He is just going to do Argus first. Can't blame him. It's probably about the same time lost either way. I'm not sure which way is actually faster or slower.
I don't either.
And in we go. Let's see if we see any speed strats here. He does have the boots and tempered sword, which is enough to allow the speed strat. Not quite. Still, of course, very simple to just wreck these puffs nonetheless with just standard hook and slash.
Yep. It's not even bothering to change it to silvers, just doing spins for the second phase.
Yeah, I would typically just do spins. Unless you're very confident in your silver hits, 2 spins is going to be faster than silvers a lot of the time, just because Argus is a really awkward spin hit, or a silver arrow hit.
So, Storm Pulse is a bust.
Most likely.
Oh yeah, there's still the big chest. He's considering that.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on right now. What are we doing here, Vascos? Okay, Vascos. What's the plan? What's the plan? The plan is go get the big chest? It is go get the big chest. Okay.
So while he's going back through some place to the big chest, if you like the race while you are seeing here, remember to follow the runners, regardless who is in chat right now, and Vascos. And if you want to watch more randomizers race, there's ALTTPR randomizers network, or more tournaments in general, there's the Speed Gaming network.
Where, of course, you are right now, Speed Gaming 4. Of course, the Speed Gaming Network does go up to 6 channels at the moment, with lots of viewing. 6 just getting started in its running.
Mm-hmm.
And off to Desert to pick up Bombos, maybe?
Yeah.
No, we're getting to Thieves' Town clear, most likely. Could also be things like Magic Batter or Frog Quest thrown in here. I don't think Vasco's done the frog yet.
No, I don't think so.
So we'll see exactly what his decision is fairly shortly here.
I would consider getting a Bumbles and dive straight into, let's see, Ice right now, because that's another crystal.
That would probably be my play as well. Or if you really felt like gambling, going ahead and doing Fire Rodless Turtle Rock. Sort of sucks to climb, but that's a real risk right now, because that's only one item location guaranteed, and it might not even be an actual item.
Wow, Fire Rod is Turtle Rock. It was quite a gamble.
Well, especially once you've already done the Death Mountain check. It's one thing if you're actually going up there for other items that can check Turtle Rock at the same time. It's another thing to actually make it as a completely separate play. Which is what he'd have to do now, because the only other location left on Death Mountain to check is Spike Cave. I think he checked Ether Tablet. He did check Ether Tablet when he was up there before, believe.
Yeah, he did. When he got the Master Sword there and he had a book, no reason he didn't check it.
Yeah. And the Magic Bat play. What have you got first, Magic Bat? You have... the Ether Medallion. Ooh, there's another play to make now.
Yep. Go clear Mire and then go get the Bombos.
Yeah, I can't see a good reason to not go get Bombos and do Mire, because that's the one thing that sort of put off doing the getting Bombos, was the fact that you sort of do want to route it in with going to Mire. We are quickly going to do the chest delivery first. Not a bad decision. And we are not going to get the Cane of Burna. I think that now that we've had two chances that we could have got the Cane of Burna and we have not done so, I think that Vascos is going, nope, no Cane of Burna for me this seed. I don't need it.
Yeah, if he wants anything to be in the cape, it's a superior invincibility item.
Yeah, the cape is definitely a much better overall item for this point. The Cane of Burna is nicer early on, both because it's easier on your magic, as well as the fact that it can do damage when you're short on items that do damage to things. But we're well past that stage now. Having had silver arrows for most of the seed, and now having a tempered sword, the damage isn't really relevant. We have half magic, so the magic consumption isn't very relevant either, so... Cape definitely would be the better invincibility item, as it allows spins and all that other fun stuff. And legs less. Into Mire we go. Not getting a bird toss, unfortunately, because it's sort of hard to bird toss when you're coming from the north side in the first place.
Yep, no bird to toss. Although there are only 2 items here in Misery Mire, could it be both drops?
It definitely could be. Even it will also be interesting if we do when we find the fire rod. Will it lead to a pedestal check? Probably less likely now that we're one item. That we will be one item from Go mode at that point. But that being said, with the item being the ice rod, you check everything, because we all know the ice rod can be anywhere.
Yep, it can be in Turtle Rock as well, which is a huge gamble to make.
Probably a gamble that he won't have any problems making in this seed. Just knowing that you're not against someone does give you a little bit more flexibility to make some gambles that you normally wouldn't, and see how well they route out for you.
Oh, here's the big key.
Yeah, once again, it'll be interesting to see exactly how his routing goes from here then. Because it's not an awful play to just literally go straight to Vitreous at this point and just restart the dungeon after that. It does take some doing to get back in, but it's not awful. Especially if you're sort of confident in that in that first room where you have to kill all the enemies, and you'll have sword beams for it because you just got you would have just got a health refill off Vitreous. Definitely a play I always find interesting, especially once you find an item.
So far, no items though.
Yeah.
Only keys.
Only keys. Meyer, the place where you go to find lots of keys and use almost none of them. Like the key logic in Meyer, it seems so funny to so many of us because we're used to not going to the rooms that we don't need to go to, but the key logic has to be, there's the fire rod. Hello, fire rod. At least it wasn't after the cutscene room, so it's gonna save some time here, so it's gonna at least, it's gonna let us do some push block glitches here.
When the box is being moved, it doesn't exist as far as games can tell, so fire rod goes straight through them.
What do we get in our vanilla big key chest? A map. So once again, this will be interesting to see. He can decide to go all the way back to right side, or he could just go through the warps. But he does decide to go back to right side here. I can't say I'm surprised about that. So it's a much safer play to make, just to make sure that the dungeon's full cleared before you go to the boss. But it's a small gamble either way. And hello, Cape. So the gamble pays off.
Yep. With Cave, you can use the spin strats on the small ice here, but he has still first. I don't think he need that.
Yeah, we're not seeing any spin strats. I don't think, not unless he really wants to swag out. And that being said, the spin strats aren't even that much swag rate anymore because they are very common to see many runners using those spin strats. That being said, switches are hard.
I mean, he might be more comfortable with the spin strat because that's the AMG strat.
It's true. You never know how much comfortability will just affect what a runner's decision for strategy is. And it's about time to head back into the light. I find this room to be one of the silliest rooms in the game. There's obviously so much enemy spam in here, but you just dash up the right side, hit a switch, and go up the stairs. And that's all there is to that room. Like, I feel like even casually, that room took me, like, no time at all to do. And we are going to see spin strats. Not even Cape spin strats. He needs to get off there, though.
Yep.
And we are... There goes Viddy. Very nicely done. And of course, not much useful information gained from that. Wasn't where we needed to be. But we did get that fire rod, so off to Ice Palace, I guess.
Yep.
Most likely. I don't see any reason to dip Turtle Rock fire with Ice Rodless versus, like, Ice Palace is so nice to go mode, but I think you lose just as much, if not more time, having to come back down the mountain after Turtle Rock. and then go back up again, as you would save by not checking the locations.
Mm-hmm. So if he still hasn't found the ice rod here in Ice Plus, I would consider the pedestal.
I wouldn't even. I don't think he won't check pedestal until he's cleared Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, I don't think. Especially as it's not really that much of a... Once again, it's the one weird thing in the fact that he knows that Regaro has quit. So there's no reason to not go for the plays that are potentially faster. As if it is the right play, great. If it's not the right play, well then, oh well, he just needs to go make the right play afterwards. So we are going to see the bomb jump from Vascos here. That setup definitely says that we are going to see the bomb jump. And with one item to go mode, you typically want to do the bomb jump. That way, if you do get the ice rod somewhere fairly early on, you don't have to go search for the big key. Because often when you are full clearing Desert Palace, I don't even know where Desert Palace came from. When you're full clearing Ice Palace, you don't really need to do the bomb jump if you've got Kano Samaria and Hookshot. You'll save very little, if any, time for doing it if you're full clearing, but getting some save or some select buffers there to make sure he's on the right frame, the right pixel, I should say. Very nice penguin room there.
Yep. It's going straight to the hookshot side.
A little bit of an interesting play, but...
Yep, you feel confident that you can bump jump there?
Well, and I personally like checking the Freezer room first, just to see if it's a small key. But that being said, that's probably a fairly... There's almost no time save there anyways, so I don't really mind that play. Just being confident and just going, yeah, I need to check all the locations as fast as possible, let's just do it.
And he's likely to find a small key on the list 3 chest, and he can walk back to the freezer room.
Well, you find that small key always, so... That small key under the rock will always be there, so you always get to walk back to the freezer room. Hey, look, it's the Uncle Bombs! Somehow they got to Ice Palace. We're not quite sure how Uncle got his bombs to Ice Palace, but, you know, they're here. Vanilla Big Key. For everyone's enjoyment. What do we have in this chest? We have 300 rupees.
I think that means we still have one-time items at large. I think
yes.
We saw the single arrow and it's 300 rupees.
Yep. That's an interesting play.
Maybe we see the items in the...
Was that all 3 items?
I spaced on that item. I'm barely awake right now, so that happens.
So we haven't got a small key yet. That might be all the items. Let's see if he's got the compass or the map when he changes to the fire source here.
Oh yeah, the Uncle Bombs, of course. That's an item.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's all the items. Yeah. Fair enough. I'm bad at item counting. Here we are. Oh, not getting the quick kill at all here. He needs to be a little careful. He actually needs to be very careful here at the moment.
Yep. On Blue Mail, a coast there bash is death here. You don't want to be tackled by calls there.
Oh, that wasn't the way those were supposed to go. We're okay. We finished the fight. We're fine. Everything is fine. 10 bomb, single arrow, and 300 rupees were in the dungeon. So I don't see any reason we're not going straight to Turtle Rock here. I don't think there's any major enough locations to bother going to check. I don't think Pedestal's a strong enough play. Of course, there's 2 items left in Thieves Town still that we don't know. I think.
I'd at least go read it.
Hey, Regaro, did you find a 3rd item in Thieves Town before you crashed? We didn't think you did. Pretty sure it was just front 2.
Looks like we're straight to Turtle Rock.
Yep.
I mean, that's way more items. Because even if you count the pedestal in Thieves Town, that's only 3 items compared to Turtle Rock 5 plus Mimic Cave. So, yeah, weighing the chances, Turtle Rock.
Or 4, or whatever, however you want to count for Trinix, be accounting for one of the items, but...
Oh yeah, shouldn't count Trinix.
So... Okay, there was an arrow upgrade upstairs. Okay, so there's only 1 item left in Thieves Town. I knew there was 2 in the front. I missed the upstairs. Don't jump off the edge. Although, granted, jumping off the edge at least is a lesser problem when you jump off there. Just means you have to walk back around. Pyramid Fairy is not really a valid play because Turtle Rock is the other 5-6 crystal. So Ice Rod is not going to be at the Pyramid Fairy. It's one of the few locations where it can't be this seed. Along with on Trinex or in Ganon's Tower. One of the notable places I don't think we ever saw was the Bonk Rocks location. We never went... Did we do Graveyard Ledge? We did do Graveyard Ledge, didn't we?
Yeah, we did Graveyard Ledge, but we didn't do the boot stuff. Yeah, didn't do the boot stuff.
So that... The boost locations would be one of the few locations that I'd sort of put fairly highly valued that we haven't checked yet.
Yeah, and those are very fast check as well because it's a save and quick to the Sanctuary.
Yeah, exactly. So that'd be the one thing where I think he'll really kick himself afterwards. If it's Pedestal, like, sure, this sucks, but it's not really, like, didn't make a huge difference. If it is Bonk Rocks, he's gonna be, he'll be kicking himself even though he knows that it's a relatively moot point. We're gonna cape our way back. Can't blame him.
With Booth is faster than Mirror back.
Off we go to find out what else is in the dungeon. So we do know that the Chain Chomps are gonna have a key.
Mm-hmm.
That does not quite how that works, Vascos. Try again. There we go, that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, tried to boot dash before I got out of the way the anti-fairy there. We'll see if we see any powder shenanigans on the 4 anti-fairies in the next room here.
He still has enough hearts.
Yeah, I don't expect it. We probably won't even. He won't bother. It's just too many for no good reason. Nah, he's gonna do it. Because why don't you powder four fairies with 1 powder? Ooh. That wasn't quite as planned.
No, chasing down the Pokey.
Not a fun thing to be doing. Fortunately, he got all the health back from the rest of the fairies that were there. And we get a small key. Could have skipped it. Wouldn't have affected anything.
I don't see anyone skipping this chest if they are not playing his sanity.
Well, or in go mode.
Yeah,
Lots of
or
people
in
skip
go
that
mode.
chest. Lots of people skip that chest in go mode.
Yeah, it's a fairly reasonable chest to skip in go mode.
Fortunately, go mode is where we are not yet.
Yep, we still need that
Pokies are
ice
not
rod.
playing nice with Vascos, though. Pokies are just like, nah, you're gonna slash us. No double spins today. And time to find out what the mimics have. Very nicely done, very quick. And we have a big 20, which is not the ice rod, so we will continue our hunt.
Yep, all the way to a laser bridge.
Well, laser bridge wouldn't have been required in go mode.
Yep. And if he's in go mode and he skipped the big chest and the vanilla big key chest, he will be beaten by his decision because
Yep.
both small keys.
Well, the vanilla big... There we are, go mode! We do get to skip laser bridge.
And then one last location before it, of course.
Just no laser bridge for us guys. No laser bridge. We know you're sad. We all know you're sad that we don't get to see laser bridge this seed. But it'll be fine. Okay? It'll be fine. Yeah, vanilla ice rod. We're not even close to vanilla ice rod. We're like halfway across Hyrule from the vanilla ice rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately blocks don't do damage on the tile they're on. They do damage around, exploding outward from there.
Mm-hmm. So we are entering our China spot. That's the 7th crystal. So I'm going to start the traditional big key guessing game here.
Yes, so of course, for everyone who is not familiar, there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the Ganon's Tower big key can be. If you would like to guess, feel free to put your numbers in chat. Of course, any subscribers to any of the Speed Gaming channels or a donator of 250 bits between the channels can be tracked in the leaderboard. But everyone, feel free to guess.
We are having a little trouble here using the cape. Wow.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Nothing happened. There was no problem. Cyclone, I think you might have it. I think that was the right thing to put in chat, Cyclone.
Yeah, you should put integers and numbers.
And off we go. Anyways, do you have a favorite location, Blast Egg?
Well, I totally choose randomly. Today I'm feeling like it's not going to be number 4.
Number 4, nice. I go fairly consistent. I go with number 8. I typically go with number 8, which of course in the sort of old conventional routing would have been the fire bar room. Nowadays, it's very often the first chest in the Sulfos room if you're doing the right side gamble. And we get 10 arrows. And a map. So we're not getting a right side gamble because it's sort of hard to do a right side gamble. We are killing Bob because he has a small key, so sorry, Bob.
We're killed Bob. We're killing Bob from his glitch state.
Are you saying we revive Bob? Is that what you're trying to say?
We cured him.
We cured him, okay. We cured Bob. You heard it here first, folks. Last Egg says we have cured Bob by knocking whatever's on the torch off. And that would be location 6. Location 6, everyone, for the big key. Nice and quick, not too trolly, and splits Last Egg in my guesses. Congratulations to Detective John Kimball for guessing 3 and being the closest one to 6.
And no, Cyclone, the key is not in chest number 720.
Anyways, as we go through here, into one final room, and into the cannonballs. You always like cannonballs. Will we jump off the bridge? We will. Jump off the bridge so we can dash across.
As in chat, Reg indeed forfeited. His computer crashed 45 minutes into a race, and his save file did not register. So he didn't want to restart the race 45 minutes behind. So he forfeited. Very understandable, and sorry to have that happen.
I'm also not sure exactly how far back the save would have been either way, because they did have a very early flute this seed, so...
He said he has no save whatsoever.
Well, I know, but I'm not sure if that was a matter of never saving and quitting, or whether that was a matter of the actual seed being corrupted and not having the save file carried over.
Yeah, I think it's a corrupt save file. He said in chat a few times he has saved and quit out of Aginas.
Right, okay. Whereas Vascos looking very solid to most likely finish seated in sub 150 here. I probably just cursed him off of a 150, but you know, I'll live with that.
How many cannonballs would that need to be for over 150?
I'm not even sure. I don't have it. I'm an awful judge of how long something is from how long the end of the game is from here. But with Silvers and Tempered, it's not going to take very long to do the Ganon fight.
Waiting a brief moment there, preventing the despawn.
Yeah, if of course if you do go up the stairs at the same frame that the fire torches deactivated in the previous room, it will just despawn everything and you have to restart the ascent. Getting some fairies, refilling his magic, and off to fight Moldorm. And good job getting the slash and the spin required to take down Moldorm in just 2 hits.
And he says doesn't need anything else, he's straight to Aghanim 2.
No, because of course, as even from what I mentioned before, right? Vascos decided to not pick up the red mail way back when as well. Of course, the blue mail coming off of the... Was it the old man that had the blue mail?
Yep.
And then, of course, red mail and Spectacle Rock, so the runners could very easily decide to just go, no, I don't need red mail, blue's good. Rank had, of course, decided to pick it up. But that's unfortunately ended, of course, where it already did. Ooh, that was unfortunate. Nice double there to finish it off. And down to the fight we go.
Oh, using the spin threat. He spin on Ganon and knock back from the Trident and spin to Ganon again, resulting in a double spin. So he's onto phase 2 already.
And got the required 12 hits in on phase 2 here. Now she needs to be careful not to take any extra damage. I'm not sure if he actually has a potion to top up or not.
He's dead. He's the next fire bat.
We have no safeties.
Everything's fine. Hopefully.
It's definitely very simple to be able to complete the rest of the seed from here, so we will see if he can do it. Oh.
Ooh.
You don't want to be standing there. What was that non-hit?
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Double? Nope. He got
He got a silverless hit.
He got a silverless hit. Yeah. So that's always impressive when you get those silverless hits. Of course, having full speed on is a little obnoxious.
Just play safe.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going for any triples right now. Get ready to face down and slash him. Darn. One more, and we gotta light the torches one more time, and he's gonna be in the way of lighting the torches. Oh, he's not. Okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything is slightly less fine.
A little too
Tried to
slow
finesse that a little bit to hit. And there we go. What a Ganon fight. What a Ganon fight.
They are rocking half a heart throughout the whole phase 4.
I tried my best to curse it to put it post 150, but Vascos does his best to finish it with an official time of 1:49 and 10 seconds.
GG.
Oh, that Ganon fight.
Localize is in the server. Shall we bring him in?
I don't see why not. Good game, Vascos.
GG. It's sad my opponent couldn't finish.
Yeah, he lost his save file. It's sort of hard to continue from there.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, we just watched him. He was about to go into the blind fight, and down it went.
Aw.
Now, that being said, you had a fantastic race there overall.
Yeah, I'm surprised it went that well, to be honest.
Now, just to ask, did your routing change at the end once you did know you were just sort of racing your So would you have done that Turtle Rock dip, Garrett, regardless, or was that partially informed? Okay. Yeah, I sort of figured. We were sort of the one thing we were a little surprised you didn't check beforehand was bonk rocks and
yeah, I wanted to check that, but I thought I already got 2 items out of boots. Why would I get more?
True. Yes. That's very fair. You never know. So yeah, it was one of those things where I had to mention it a couple times. Like, it's possible that your routing was slightly different due to knowing that Reg wasn't in the race, so you could do things that were potentially more harmful, but wouldn't really cost you in the long run.
Yeah, but no, it didn't affect my routing at all. I tried to not do that.
Exactly, and I know the feeling because I often race people that are quote unquote people that are on stream or whatever, and I try not to let what I see from them affect me as well. So same sort of idea. But yeah, that hammer. Did you like that hammer location?
Yeah, it's better than other stuff.
Yeah, better than the vanilla location.
Glad it wasn't Pyramid Fairy. True. Although to be fair, it's sort of hard for it to be Pyramid Fairy when Turtle Rock's one of the 5, 6 crystals. Of course, it's not. it's not talking about the seed specifically. It could have been Ice Palace too.
It could have been Ice Palace.
If I found boots in part, and that was
It was definitely well routed overall. Leaving Bombos to pick up until, of course, you found that Ether worked out fairly nicely in your favor as well.
Yeah, just happened to be like that.
Well, and it was the one sort of question where, like, is it worth just going to pick up Bombos and going to Ice Palace? We now know it definitely was not worth it at all, because it just wasn't worth it. But it was an option you, of course, had at the time.
Yeah, of course. I was waiting for Ether, yeah. So.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Fortunately, it wasn't in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
No, but fantastic. Any general stuff you want to throw out there?
I don't like having mid so early. It's annoying. Worse than an Aga start, in my opinion.
True, especially when you get flippers as your next progression, and when your flippers as your progression to East Dark World and not the hammer. Like, that's what really makes it bad. The Titan's Mitts first isn't so bad. It's Titan's Mitts into flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're just running in circles the entire seed.
Yep.
You have toggle access, but only through that portal. It just has to walk everywhere. It never feels good.
And then, of course, Death Mountain, East Death Mountain was locked behind hammer. I think. Where was the hookshot again?
It
was in Hookshot Cave. So yeah, it was locked behind hammer for sure. Boots in Resident Sleeper Cave, Hookshot in Hookshot Cave.
Yep.
That's one way to Because we're like, oh yeah, he won't get to do hookshot cave when he's up here, and then we're like, oh right, he does get to do first chest, and then it was the hookshot.
Yeah. That's my favorite location for hookshot.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. It's more interesting than vanilla hookshot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's way more interesting.
But yeah, I think unless you have any final thoughts there, I think we'll probably get this wrapped up here.
Just no final thoughts. I'm good.
Well, so once again, we'll give our GG to Vascos and our condolences to Reg on the computer crash into seed deletion. But definitely consider giving them both a follow. That this was looking to shape up to be a fine race until we had that mishap. And of course, consider giving them a follow. Also, of course, consider following all the Speed Gaming channels I mentioned before, Speed Gaming through Speed Gaming 6. They're hosting a lot of games in this tournament, as well as hosting many other speedrunning tournaments at any given time, as well as this tournament with the ALTTP Randomizer through ALTTP Randomizer 4 channel.
So a little starting right now on Speed Gaming 3, Speed Gaming 5, and ALTTP Randomizer 2. All 3 channels has race starting right now. So if you want to watch more rando, you can go there. And I've been Blastic.
And I've been Spiffers the Grand. Everyone have a fantastic day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are.
See you next race. Bye-bye.